The 30 Years' Civil War, known as the Wars of the Roses, can be traced back to two sons of Edward III, his third son, Edmund of Langley, and John of Gaunt, his fourth son. The Lancastrians descended from John of Gaunt, and the Yorkists descended from Edmund of Langley. Both the Lancastrians with the red rose and the Yorkists with the white rose claimed a right to the English throne. Margaret Beaufort was a rich heiress, a direct descendant of John of Gaunt, and a cousin to King Henry VI. She married Henry VI's half-brother Edmund Tudor and became pregnant aged 13, though Edmund died 6 months later. She sought refuge with Jasper Tudor, her brother-in-law, and Henry Tudor was born on the 20th of January 1547. 3 sons of Richard, the 3rd Duke of York, all had a good claim to the throne which they were determined to make by force. These were Edward, Earl of March, later Edward IV, George, Duke of Clarence, and Richard, Duke of Gloucester, later Richard III. Key battles during these struggles include in 1455 the First Battle of St Albans, when Richard of York became Lord Protector. In 1460 the Battle of Wakefield, which left England with 2 monarchs, Henry VI and Edward IV. In 1461 the Battle of Towton, a victory for the Yorkists, leading Henry VI to flee to Scotland. And in 1471 the Battle of Tewkesbury, where Henry VI's heir was killed and Henry himself died in the Tower, leaving Edward IV free to rule. Edward IV had 2 sons, Edward and Richard. George of Clarence was executed after attempting to have the princes declared illegitimate, and Edward IV died in 1483 with his heir Edward, only 12 years old. The prince's uncle, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, kept him and his younger brother in the Tower of London, where they were both declared illegitimate. Richard was crowned king, but by the summer of 1483 it was believed that the princes were dead, and opposition grew against him. After the Battle of Tewkesbury in 1471, Edward IV entered London. Henry VI died in the Tower of London, most likely murdered, and Henry Tudor fled to France with his uncle Jasper. Elizabeth Woodville, mother of the princes, and Margaret Beaufort agreed that Henry should claim the throne and marry Elizabeth of York, sister of the princes, uniting the families. Henry and the Lancastrians met Richard III and the Yorkists at the Battle of Bosworth Fields on the 22nd of August 1485. Richard III was killed and Henry was crowned Henry VII of England. To try and consolidate his hold on the throne, Henry married Elizabeth of York, uniting the Lancastrians and Yorkists. He also dated his rule from the day before his victory. Pope Innocent VIII also supported his claim. However, his claim to the throne was not particularly strong. His father, Edmund, was only Henry VI's half-brother, and though his mother's great-grandfather was John of Gaunt, her great-grandmother, Catherine Swynford, was formerly his mistress, leading to concerns of legitimacy. All in all, this led to a precarious hold on the throne for Henry VII, who had to work strategically to ensure that this new dynasty, the Tudor dynasty, would flourish and endure.